Hey everyone, welcome to today's Program Yourself Thin podcast. Today we're talking about comfortable weight loss. The holy grail of losing weight is to make it comfortable. And that may seem like a crazy idea to you. How could you possibly lose weight comfortably, right? It's got to be a struggle. It's got to be hard. It's got to be difficult, right? That's what weight loss is all about. But maybe that's not true. Maybe that's just a bunch of bullshit we've been led to believe by the diet industry. And maybe weight loss could be comfortable. So how do you make that happen? Well, the first step is that you have to demand that it's going to be comfortable, meaning that you say to yourself, I'm only going to lose weight in ways that are comfortable for me. What a weird concept. Now, you've never thought that, right? You've always thought you have to do difficult things to lose weight. But what if you said, I'm only going to do this in a comfortable way? Well, the next question comes, okay, how can I do it comfortably? Interesting. A question you've never asked in your life. How can I lose weight comfortably? Well, what do you think? It's not a trick question. You've just never thought about it, so you don't have the answers falling out of your head. But how would you lose weight comfortably? Well, it's the same way you do anything new comfortably. How would you learn the piano comfortably? You'd break it up into bite-sized pieces. You'd break it down into small parts that you could practice comfortably. And you'd get better at those little parts, and then you'd put them together with the other little parts that you worked on comfortably until eventually you'd put together big things that were comfortable. And it doesn't have to be any different with weight loss. Weight loss is no different than anything else in your life that you want to approach and accomplish. The difference is that when it comes to weight loss, we've been conditioned by the diet industry to take it all on at once, to make it as uncomfortable as possible because we want fast, instant results. But if you stop thinking that way, and you start realizing, I'm going to do this one last time. I'm going to figure out how to master my weight, and I'm going to do it in a way that is comfortable for me. That's the only way I'm going to do it. Then we get on this path. How can I do it comfortably? It's not that hard. Let me start making small, little strategic changes day after day. 1% better each and every day. Instead of getting rid of all the sugar, I'll get rid of a little bit of the sugar and I'll keep cutting it down. Instead of getting rid of all the calories, I'll cut the calories down slowly, comfortably, in a way that's comfortable for me. Instead of completely transforming my lifestyle and starting to work out an hour every day, I'll work out 10 minutes and I'll get used to it and I'll enjoy the process. And if you start approaching it this way, you start to realize that it doesn't have to be this miserable sprint to the end. Instead, it can be this process where you learn to grow, evolve into a better version of yourself, slowly, strategically, systematically, comfortably, because you take things a step at a time. You relax. You start your whole journey out by relaxing and calming down. I bet you're stressed out right now. I bet you're overwhelmed right now. So maybe the answer is not to add more stress and overwhelm to your life, and instead start focusing on relaxing, calming yourself, feeling more peaceful, feeling more grounded. Drinking some water, getting a little extra sleep, relaxing, eating a piece of fruit. And you do little things that make you feel better, and you build on those things day after day. And next thing you know, it's a year from now and you look back and say, holy shit, I can't believe everything I've changed. Wow, I've lost weight. I eat healthier. I live healthier. I think better and I feel amazing because it wasn't a rush. What's the rush? Don't you want to feel good for the rest of your life? So what is the rush? And if you make feeling good and feeling comfortable the goal and the focus right now, you can feel good and comfortable right now. And you can find ways to create the other goals in your life of losing weight comfortably right now. It's not rocket science. It's just that we need to deprogram ourselves. We need to stop thinking like a dieter and start thinking like someone who's going to master their weight for the rest of their lives. And there is no rush to do this. So I can take the comfortable path. And if you want some support walking this comfortable path, click the link in my bio, get the hypnosis session I made for you, because hypnosis is the most comfortable way to transform your mindset so that you start to lose weight comfortably. Hypnosis is the most comfortable way for you to lose weight and keep it off. And I'll give you a free session that's going to help you kickstart that process. So go to my bio, click that link, or go to programyourselfthin.com and get that session. Start your journey comfortably. So I hope this helps you out. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them. And let's get into it. Gratitude 108. How do you rein in? How do you rein in? I'm going to assume that means how do you rein in bad habits, bad eating, any of that? Okay. And again, it's a process. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. So there's lots of ways to do it. I suppose you could rein it in by changing everything today. There's one way. You all know that way. Or you could do it the way that I do it. Right. I got off track the last 3 weeks. I put 7 pounds on. How do I rein my behaviors in? Slowly, systematically, comfortably. Because the main thing I'm focusing on is my energy, my moods, my mindset. If I feel like shit, but I'm forcing myself to eat better, that doesn't mean anything to me because I know I'm not gonna be able to keep it up. So the only thing that matters to me is things that are sustainable. And the only way I can sustain better behaviors, lifestyle behaviors, eating behaviors, mindset habits and behaviors is to feel more grounded and calm and energized. So that's what I focus on. And then I let everything build out of that. So I rein things in. You want to know how I rein things in? I was off holiday mode for 2 weeks, vacation mode for 1 week right after it. So 3 weeks of holiday vacation mode. I get back. How do I rein it in? I don't know. I slept more. I went to bed earlier. I took naps. I slept in later when I could. I started drinking more water. Didn't drink as much water last week when I was on vacation. The first thing I do, I come, oh, thank God, I drink my water, get my hydration levels up. I meditate, I relax, eat a piece of fruit. And then I start dialing down the unhealthy habits. I start cutting down on the food a bit, comfortably. The entire process is comfortable. I can't stress this enough because you dieters are in blah, blah. That mode is the opposite of comfort. It's the opposite of effectiveness. So you rein things in strategically, intelligently by starting calm, relaxed, grounded. Then rein things in as far as it's comfortable for you. And when it's not comfortable, cut the shit. Just stop for a little bit and just do what you're doing. Get a little bit better, get used to it, habituate to it, and then add a little more to it once you're used to it. Good. Dieters just want to go right to the end point. What's up, Katie? Katie, I'm so proud of you. Big decision today. I'm so excited. It's happy to see that a full year Katie gets of me. I can't wait. So I'm super excited, Katie. Cannot wait for this year. And I'm so excited. You have the potential to be one of my greatest success stories, not in terms of how much weight you're going to lose, but in terms of how much your mindset is going to transform. And I'm excited to go on this journey with you. So I can't wait. Let's see. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. For thinking about weight, Treely, does grounding help? Grounding, in terms of my definition of grounding is kind of being centered and calm, having your resources available to you, you emotionally, mentally, physically, energetically. I want all of those resources. And that's what I consider being grounded. I consider going on a diet to be the least grounding thing I could do. So I ground myself in my habits. I ground myself in a calm mindset, a healthy lifestyle, and clean eating. And when I go from where I've been at vacation holiday mode down to my kind of grounded mode, it's a process. But yes, the first thing I'm doing anytime is I'm grounding myself. My definition of grounding being that I'm getting my energy level back up. I'm sleeping. I'm hydrating. I'm relaxing. I'm meditating, quieting my mind. And that's how I ground myself. And that's the foundation of everything that I'm doing. And without that, I'm not doing anything. Without being grounded, I stop and I come back to grounding myself through those methods. And as soon as I don't feel those things, I bring myself back down there. I value being grounded more than I value eating well, like eating perfect. So I will eat more bullshit in service of being more grounded and calm. So that's how much I value it, because I think that all my success is built out of that. D says, I can't seem to wrap my head around not overworking out and still losing weight and not binge. Yeah, I mean, D, I'll tell you what I would suggest. I'll help you wrap your mind around it. Is go get the book. It's called Burn, Burn. And I think his last name might be Ponsner, but go find it. Burn. That I would say is probably my book of 2024. And the thing I like so much about it is he basically reveals that just exercising a lot is not going to help you lose weight. And I was not even aware of the studies he referenced. But basically, long story short, the more you exercise, the more you're going to eat. And you may not believe that, and that's fine. A lot of people's intuitions are wrong. And this was one where my intuitions were wrong. I always knew you didn't need to exercise to lose weight, but I didn't realize that exercising doesn't really make you lose weight without a calorie deficit. And it's very difficult to create a caloric deficit with extreme exercising for a number of reasons. And I've talked about this for years. The more you over exercise, the more tired you are, the more sore you are. And the biggest thing of all is that the bigger the licensing effect, meaning that the more you force yourself to do something good, like over exercising a lot, the less energy you have and the less aware you are of the food you're putting in your body. And believe me or don't, but the overtraining is a horrible strategy. I'm so thankful 30 years ago. Listen, I'm about as lazy a person as you're going to meet. That's not true, but I'm lazy. And I remember 30 years ago, I'm like, I'm not going to the gym. I hate going to the gym. And I said, how am I going to do this? And I'm going to master my eating. And I sit in front of you, having lost 50 pounds for 30 years. I have not exercised in any consistent way. Now I am active. I want to be clear. I love doing like chores. I love like doing lawn work. I do yoga, which is the most gentle yoga on the planet. I like playing basketball. I like walking my dog, going for walks. I like being active, but I hate exercising. And I have not exercised for 30 years in any consistent way. And I've maintained the exact same weight for 30 years, minus one blip 12 years ago. So that will help you get the head around the not over working out piece of it. And that will support you in not binging. Because again, the more you work out, the hungrier you are, the sorer you are, the more likely you are to get injured. And again, that licensing effect is an absolute killer. If you don't know what the licensing effect is, it is it's fascinating. But I will leave that up to you. I'll go research that. It is fascinating stuff. All right. And again, the binge usually follows the extreme energy output, is usually followed by a binge. You're not alone. And it's not a you problem, it's a strategy problem. So stop doing that strategy and you'll probably get better results. Greenie says, but I'm meeting my long distance love for the first time in person in 6 weeks. All right. Good for you. I'm excited for you. I don't know what the but means, but so you want to lose a bunch of weight before you meet him? Is that the goal? Gratitude says, how important is portion size of healthy choices? The hypnosis mantras alone don't seem to do it. Yeah, listen, hey, the hypnosis is a support system. And for most people, it's going to set you up for success. But the hypnosis is not magic. Like you can't just act the same, listen to hypnosis and lose weight, which is why a lot of times I suggest, again, the mastery system, I broke it up, which I question a lot of times, but I did it because the hypnosis session is going to help most people at least lose weight. But the mastery system is really the secret, because it's figuring out how you can eat. It's figuring out how to live, how to think like a thin and healthy person, and having the techniques to do that. And so what I will say, the biggest issue I see with hypnosis is that people approach it as if it's a magical solution, and they almost like dare the hypnosis to make them lose weight, and I'm not saying that's you, by the way, I want to make that crystal clear, but I do see that sometimes where people are almost imagining like someone wrote to me, they just got the hypnosis session. They go, well, it hasn't reduced my hunger. It's like, just listen to a session that's going to reduce your hunger. Do you understand? You need a holistic approach to making this work. So portion sizes are enormous. Portion sizes are dictating your weight, basically. The calories you're consuming, your calorie intake is the number one factor of your weight. So yeah, you can't just listen to hypnosis, eat the same, and expect you're going to lose weight. There's no magic that can happen in your body that's going to allow you to eat the same and lose weight. The injections that people are getting are not they're not eating the same. It causes them to feel full so they don't eat as much. So yes, absolutely, you need to reduce portion sizes. And you don't even need to eat healthier choices technically, but eating healthier choices are going to support you and help you in doing that typically, you know. But yeah, you absolutely need to reduce your portion sizes, calorie intake in order to lose weight. But the hypnosis sessions will help you do that, you know. So, what's up, Deanna? Yep, salads, absolutely. And I got, oh man, had my first salad yesterday in 3 weeks. Not to say I haven't had salads, I have salads, but not my normal lunch grounded, strategic, consistent salad. I had it first one yesterday. Oh, it was wonderful. So nice to get back to the norm. And that was amazing. So yeah, salads for me are talk about grounding. Those are very grounding. Kelly says, hi, thanks for this. I haven't dropped the few pounds I gained over the holidays yet and fight the little voice in my head that wants to beat me up for it. This is just one step at a time. I'm on the comfortable path. Yeah, great job, Kelly. I don't even know if I have yet, or I haven't weighed myself, but I will tell you, Kelly, again, in this process, you let yourself eat a little extra during the holidays. You put a couple pounds on because that improves your quality of life. Quality of life's not served by just always being at the exact same weight forever, no matter what the situation. I think quality of life is served best when you are able to adapt to different scenarios. And when the holidays and vacations come around, you eat a little extra. And then when normal times come, you go back to normal and you go back to your weight. And how quickly that weight comes off to me is way less. Like I'm not even, again, when I was losing weight actively, I weigh myself every day. But now I'm in a situation where I just don't, because I've been at the same weight for so long. But as I come out of, I put 7 pounds on during the holidays in my vacation. So 3 weeks. And now I'm not worried about the weight. I don't give a shit what the weight is. That's not my first goal. My first goal is let me get my habits back in place. And so for me, it started literally, I got back Thursday. It started Thursday. The second I got home, I grabbed my water. I filled my bottle up with my water. I drank, oh, thank God, and I felt good. That night I went to bed early. I slept in a little later on Friday. No, I didn't. I got up for early Friday because I had an early thing, but I went to bed earlier. I took a nap during Friday. I went to bed a little earlier Friday night. I slept in Saturday, Sunday. So again, for me, I'm measuring my behaviors. That's my first focus when I'm getting back on track. What are my behaviors? Not the weight. Because I know the weight, it might take me 2 weeks, might take me 4 weeks, might take me 8 weeks to drop those 7 pounds. And I don't give a shit. All I care about is, did I get my sleeping back on track? Did I have my water back on track? Did I have my yoga back on track? And then I'll start getting those things back. Then Monday comes, okay, I get my salad back on track. Did I get my breakfast back on track? Did I get my dinner back on track? All that shit's back on track now, at least the first day and a half. And so I'm feeling good because my behaviors are back in the right places. And I know the effect will catch up with it. So Kelly, focus on the behaviors that are getting back on track and know that the weight will follow. All right. What's up, Vicky? Vicky says, happy to be on this lifelong journey. Appreciate your ongoing support, encouragement, all or something for the long haul. Yeah, absolutely. Vicky's a superstar. She was a superstar before she got in the program. She was a Weight Watchers lifetime. Do they call them lifetime losers? I forget if that's the case, but lifetime member. And now she's in this program, really refining and honing in the mindset piece. But she's committed, and that's what it takes. I will, again, as a hypnotist, listen, I get it. People look at hypnosis, oh, it's an easy way. There's no easy way. Just letting you know. I wish there was. You could say maybe the injections are, maybe. I don't think that's an easy way in the long run personally, but whatever. But this takes commitment, and it's like, I'm going to send an email like that. Lazy people need not apply. This is not for lazy people. This is for action takers, people that are willing to do the work, willing to put in the time. And Vicky's one of them. So what's up, Joy? How's it going? Thank you for your kind words for all of us. You are welcome. Professional Killjoy, under 300 pounds as of today, still have the rest of my life ahead of me, but this progress still makes me happy, especially because the habits still feel easy and natural. Killjoy is a superstar. Again, another person in the program who's really internalizing everything we're doing here. And in Program Yourself, then we build everything around habits. I was just talking about this today. You have a conscious and a subconscious mind, folks. Okay. Your conscious mind, your prefrontal cortex, your subconscious mind is the rest of your brain. Let's keep it simple. And the conscious part of your mind is the part of you that's logical, rational. It's where your willpower is, knows what you should do, knows why you should do it, tries to get you to do it. Your subconscious mind is the party that runs all of your habits automatically, all your thoughts, feelings, behaviors on autopilot. And so it's really important in my mind that you stop being a dieter, because dieters, what are they doing? They're trying to use their conscious mind, their willpower, to override their subconscious mind. When you go on a diet, it's basically an endurance test of how long can you fight against yourself. And it's usually a couple days, a couple weeks. With Program Yourself, then we're using our conscious mind to reprogram our subconscious mind so that we automatically start to do habits and behaviors and think thoughts that lead us to be thin and healthy naturally and automatically. The best example I can give you is brushing your teeth. This, for most people, is the most healthy habit that they've installed into their subconscious, and now it just runs automatically. You don't have to think about brushing your teeth. You just automatically do it when you do it. Well, guess what? You can do lots of habits like that. I've installed a water habit where I drink this and a half, and a half of these minimum every single day, every single day. You know, the only exception being when I went on vacation to Disney, because the water kind of gross. It was a different setup. But short of that, literally every day I drink that much water. I program my subconscious mind to go to bed earlier so I get more sleep every day. Program my subconscious mind to do some yoga every single night before I go to bed, just like my toothbrushing. I program my mind to meditate every single day automatically. I program my mind to eat a salad every Monday through Thursday for lunch. Program my mind to eat the same breakfast Monday through Friday that I enjoy for breakfast those days. So I've programmed myself. So what that means is I'm not fighting against myself. I've maintained the same weight, a 50-pound weight loss I've maintained for 30 years on near autopilot. I've never dieted once, and I never go to the gym, never exercise consistently. I've programmed in the lifestyle behaviors, the mindset, and the eating patterns of a thin and healthy person. And now they run on near autopilot. I still have to tend them. You know, it's like a garden. So you do a lot of the work in the beginning, you still got to tend to it. So that's why I say near autopilot, not complete autopilot. But it's a completely different process than you dieters are doing, where you're trying to micromanage every little decision you make. Good luck. It's estimated we make over 200 food decisions a day. So that's a smart way to do it. And that's what Killjoy, when she says the habits are still feel easy and natural. Imagine if your weight loss journey, you had a healthy habits that just felt easy and natural and you just did automatically. Don't you think it'd be easier to manage your weight then? You know? Yeah, Kelly, I'll focus on habits, not pounds. Exactly. Now, again, Kelly, you know, the end of the month, you check the scale. You know what I mean? You check it before then if you want, but always with an eye mainly on the habits, because it's the habits, it's the behaviors that create the weight. Folks, cause and effect. Your weight is an effect. Your eating and your lifestyle are the cause. Another way to put it, you can't lose weight. You can't lose weight. How would you lose weight? How? Chop a leg off? That's literally it. The only way you can lose weight, and you can't lose weight, it's a misnomer. It doesn't mean what you think it means. You can't. You can eat less calories. You can eat healthier. You can live healthier. And over time, it magically turns into weight loss. But you can't just lose weight. You know what I'm saying? It's a very important distinction. It may sound like I'm splitting hairs or I'm getting a semantic discussion, but this is a very important distinction to understand, because a lot of you are making yourselves crazy trying to lose weight. You got your focus on the wrong thing. You're focused on the effect. It's like you can't make money. You can't make money unless you're a counterfeiter. You can't make money. You can work more hours. You can get a better job. You can develop skills where you can provide more value. And then you get more money in your life. But the part you control is not the effect. You control the cause. And when it comes to weight, the cause is your thinking, your lifestyle, your eating. And when you get those mastered, your weight reflects that. Your weight always reflects your eating, your lifestyle, and your mindset. So, what's up, Nura? How's it going? I had amazing holidays. Can't wait for PYT 2025 season. Absolutely. And I'm so excited for you, Nura. It's an exciting time in Program Yourself Then. I'm not going to lie. It's so exciting because it's a new year. A lot of people out there have made a commitment for a year. That's super exciting. I mean, it can't be a big surprise to anyone that when you make a longer term, more invested commitment to something, you get better results, right? Because I mean, the least committed people on the planet are dieters. Just so you know, I don't think you could make much less of a commitment than just starting a diet. Gives a shit. You start it one day, quit the next. No one knows. No one cares. Gives a shit. right? There's no commitment there. And so, again, listen, there's a great saying that investment creates commitment. And I found that true in my own life. So is it not true in yours? Dieters are always trying to cheap their way, shortcut their way, hack their way to the results. And what you get instead is a whole lifetime of struggle and failure. Sorry to be so blunt, but what am I going to do? So yeah, again, Nura has been on the path, walking the path, getting better and better each and every day, and has the support system and the training behind her to make that happen. So it's exciting, and I know a lot of you are in that boat. So again, I it's what I live for. I love doing the podcast. I'm happy to just put this information out there for everyone. But obviously, my clients, there's just such a high level of respect for the commitment you're making. And the fact that you choose me, it means a lot to me. There you go. Yeah, Kelly. I'll focus on the habits and use the scale to give me feedback. There you go, Kelly. And that's what you tell that voice, And when you start really internalizing this, because listen, hey, sometimes we can focus on the habits and the weight doesn't go down. That's okay. It's not the end of the world because you're still in a better position. Do you understand? You don't understand this because I know the negative voice says, oh, I'll change these habits. I'll focus on habits. I won't lose any weight. Maybe you won't. Maybe you won't. But in a month from now, when you haven't lost any weight, you now have all these habits installed into your life, or more installed, I should say. And now the ability to lose weight goes way up. So again, dieters are so famous for thinking in a fixed term. I always say this, dieters think of weight loss like it's a sprint, like it's a race to the end. And when you think of things like a sprint, you create all sorts of subconscious problems. The biggest one being that as soon as you make a mistake, it feels catastrophic. Because if you're running a sprint and you trip a little bit, you lost the race. The only thing that wins a sprint is perfection. And so right from the beginning, dieters are set up for failure because the second they make a mistake, it feels catastrophic. And you're going to make a mistake. You can't just completely change all your eating in one day. I just told you there's over 200 food decisions a day you're making. You're just instantly going to change all those and make them perfectly because tomorrow's tomorrow, because tomorrow's Monday? No way. So you need to have the ability to absorb mistakes. And this is why you need to expand your time frame. You need to think about weight loss in terms of the rest of your life, not how much weight can I lose this week? How much weight can I lose this month? That way of thinking is probably the most destructive in terms of your results. And so when you start thinking longer term, you instantly set yourself up for better success because you're able to absorb the mistakes that you're going to make, and you set yourself up for a more accurate goal, which is that you don't just want to lose weight. You don't just want to lose weight. The real goal is you want to live at your goal weight for the rest of your life on your autopilot. And those goals are completely different because with dieting, the goal is to get to your goal weight. With weight mastery and program yourself, then the goal is to live at your goal weight. And if you're honest with yourself, you'll realize you never focus on living at your goal weight, which is why you're probably not living at your goal weight. And it says, oh yeah, I thought about that. You inspired me to make a lifelong commitment to health and to not just temporary motivation to get to size 0. I'm eternally grateful for that. Yeah, I appreciate that, Nura. And you heard it and you responded to it. And so I applaud that. It's hard. The biggest challenge you all have in terms of your weight is your mindset. You've been hypnotized, brainwashed, conditioned by the food companies and the diet companies, which are one and the same most of the time. Remember that. All the big diets that you reference about how to lose weight are all owned by big food companies. Weight Watchers was owned by Heinz. Jenny Craig was owned by Nestle. Atkins Food Products is owned by the same companies as Onions, Pretzels, and Cinnabon. Slim Fast owned by the same company that owns Ben and Jerry's. So I don't know what you know about business. I actually have a business degree. And you know what we learned day one? The companies exist legally. They're legally bound to make money for their shareholders. So it doesn't make any sense to me that a company's going to buy a diet that's going to ruin their business model. So the only thing that makes sense to me when I see food companies buying diets is that they buy diets because these diets fill your head up with rocks that don't help you. And you keep eating the same amount of food anyways. So again, the biggest thing you need to change in order to change your weight is your mindset. And you've been brainwashed and conditioned since birth by these food companies and diet companies to think wrong thoughts. And the biggest thought of all of those is that you as a dieter just think very short term. How fast can I lose the weight? And that thought is the most damaging one out of all of them. And so when you start thinking longer term, it's important. And Nura says, I literally joined PYT program halfway into first live stream. Best decision. That's awesome. Yeah. I suggest y'all do the same. Stop wasting time. You know, it's funny. I was talking about this yesterday. I can feel the apathy with the weight this year. I've been doing this 30 years personally, 20 years professionally. I've been doing this, and I can feel it this year. This year is different. And I don't know if it's just the climate, you know, politically, economically, socially, and the weight loss medicines just really revealing how shitty diets are and how they don't work. I don't know what it is, but I see a lot of apathy out there. You've got to resist that. You've got to resist the apathy, because I was just had a coaching call with a client who joined my private coaching group. Biggest commitment you can make short of working with me privately. Made the biggest commitment. She made it this morning, and she goes, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And she goes, the thought that kicked me over the edge is, she goes, I realized this is absolutely essential to me. This isn't about weight. This is about my knees, my hips, my shoulders, my ability to go on vacations with my family and enjoy myself, to live longer, to stay out of the hospital. And I said, I'm so proud of you for thinking that, because in this culture, we have been conditioned to undervalue our health. Why? Because overconsumption of food and all the economy that creates is one of the cornerstones of this society and the economy. And so you have to understand that you've been conditioned your entire life to undervalue your health. And when it comes to weight, you primarily think about how you look, when in reality, the main focus should be your quality of life, your mobility, your independence, your health, your freedom, your longevity. And, you know, listen, I just turned 50. It's like, listen, once you get to 45, 50, 60, the wanting to look better, it becomes less important. It just does. And what should replace it is your quality of life, your energy, your mobility, your flexibility, your strength. But it's hard for you to tap into that, because you've been conditioned your whole life to undervalue that, to just accept that, oh, diabetes is just a part of getting older. A lack of mobility, just a part of getting older. Getting heavier, that's just part of getting older. Lack of mobility, that's part of getting older. That's fucking bullshit. You cannot accept that. And you're constantly being conditioned to accept it, because you ever see WALL-E? Y'all ever seen WALL-E? Is that Disney? I don't know if that's Disney or not, but remember WALL-E? The whole world's trash, but everyone walks around in their chairs. They got the TV in front, their soda holder here. Everyone's obese. What do you want? You know? That's the truth. You've got to fight against that, because the constant messaging you're getting is to turn you into an obese, unhealthy person, because there's lots of money to be made off of obese, unhealthy people. What do you want? You know, that's true. So you've got to fight against that. It's not easy, but that's why I'm here every day. For me, this is a mission. My dad died at 54 of a heart attack. That's why I'm here. I don't want you to die of a heart attack for your family and friends and people you love. I don't want people you love to die unnecessarily. Why? Because they couldn't stop eating. So I literally have committed my life to this. But you got to do your part. You've got to fight. You've got to fight, because you talk about hypnosis. They're constantly trying to, every commercial you see is a hypnosis session. Every commercial you see trying to put you in a trance. Hey, don't worry about that. Just put more fucking food in your face. Put more fucking soda drinks down your gullet. Which is why 75% of the population is overweight or obese. It's estimated it's going to be 90% within 10 years. Where are you going to be on that? You know? So it's, again, I'm not trying to be dramatic, but sometimes you need to hear that side of things, because again, we live in this environment where we never hear the other side of it. You know? What's up, Julie? Julie said, I stopped counting calories and points, even stopped weighing for a while. I had to do a diet detox. Now I'm focused on feeling healthy and energetic, and everyone says I look thinner. Yes. Again, Julie's in the program. She's a superstar. Lost 85 pounds, put it on, then joined Program Yourself then, and now she's on the right path for the rest of her life. So that's good. Like he says, so true culture promotes unhealthy behaviors when the overconsumption of food. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because they're making money off of you in a million different ways. From the food consumption first, from the diet method second. Dieting's a $65 billion a year industry, and that was before the injections. Then there's all the money made of off the medicines you need when you're overweight, obese, and suffering from the diseases that go with it. So again, obesity, overconsumption of food is an enormous driver of the economy, which means that there's tons and tons and tons of conditioning coming at you to get you to overconsume, to get you to go into a trance and not think about it. Don't think about it. And I think I can feel the apathy for it. That's why you got to fight against it. This isn't about wearing a fucking size 6 dress, the skinny jeans. It's not about that. That's a part of it. But the bigger part is so that you can, I went to Disney last week, so you can walk around and go on all the fucking rides. So you have to sit the whole time because you can't walk because your knees are killing you. You got no ability to, no stamina, no flexibility, no strength, no mobility. This is about your quality of life, day in and day out. This is about how long you're going to live and the quality of life during those years. You've got to think about that. God, if I hear someone say to me, those are the fucking worst years anyways, I will slap you. I've got a neighbor who's 100 years old. And she's amazing. She's a real beacon of what's possible. And I can tell you, if people that say like, oh, those are the shit years, it's like, do you know any older people? Because I do. And very rarely do they no one wants to kick it. Okay. So start thinking now, start planning for those older years now. They don't have to be shit. That's a bullshit idea that's been put in our head. It's bullshit. So, okay, so I'm excited too. Yes. Katie's going to be a super success story, and it's going to be one of the most interesting ones because she has an interesting story. Judy says, shit. Trying to get sorry if I'm missing your questions on TikTok. I'm getting to them right now. This is not recorded. Sometimes people think they're recorded. They're not. I just get talking too much and I forget. Shit. I missed someone's thing. Sorry if I missed any questions. Just said absolutely have to engage with a holistic approach. Yes, absolutely. And again, if you have no idea, I know there's buzzwords like holistic, lifestyle change. There's a lot of like buzzwords, but people don't really know what it means. I need to shift my mindset. I can't just go on a diet. I need to change my lifestyle. And it's like, they say those words, they don't really know what it means. And so if you know you need a new approach and you want a new approach, click the link in my bio and go get the hypnosis session I give you. Go watch the video I made for you. Get into my world. Let me share this experience with you. And you can say, it's fucking bullshit. Just unsubscribe. Worse off. It's free. All that shit's free. I have paid programs, but I give more stuff away in terms of weight loss. I've never seen anyone give as much stuff away as I do. So that's the kind of entrance into it. And I got some cool stuff coming. The coolest thing coming in a week or two here is that, I actually clone myself. I have an AI clone of myself. It's actually trained on almost 14 million words now. This is from 2 years, folks. Listen, if you've never seen me before, there aren't too many of me. I've been obsessed with this for 30 years. I've been doing this professionally for 20 years. And there's very few people that have the experience. I've done almost 6,000 private weight loss sessions. And in the last 2 years, I took all my podcasts, all my coaching calls, all my trainings that I made, and I put them in this AI and create a little AI version of Jim based on 14 million words. Think about how much that is, by the way. So when you talk to it, it's like talking to me. So anyways, I'm making a version of this clone that is specifically designed to help you identify your goal weight, which is harder than you may think, because I have rarely found a person who has the right goal weight. What does that mean? Well, it doesn't matter right now, but the right goal weight. And so what I'm going to do for free is I'm going to give you access to this AI to help you decide and identify the perfect goal weight for yourself. Free. But I can only give it to you if you sign up for my email list. So anyways, Judith says, I'm on this Monjuro. I've had to change my mindset completely in strategies. It's not a magic. I was only on it because of diabetes type 2. Yeah, I get it, Judith. And again, you'll never hear me, Oh yeah, Nerd just said AI Jim is an insanely good tool. Yeah, he's my bestie. It really is. It's nuts. It's nuts. It's like it's so good. It talks just like me. It says a lot of the same stuff. It's so awesome. That's a tool, by the way. Um, Again, for those of you that are considering the Thrive program or the just the first program, the Mastery program, you get access to Gym AI 24 hours a day. It's awesome, and that'll become a bigger and bigger part of the program. But yeah, Judith, I want everyone to hear this. The being on the Manjaro, being on these injections is not a magic. It's not a magic bullet. You know what I mean? You still have to do stuff. And again, I want to make clear, like what we're talking about here is really, I always say this, that it's weight loss wrapped in personal development. So what I'm working on with people is really, this is really a personal development program where you master your weight, but it's also about becoming the best version of you possible, which those of you in the program, that's what we're starting with today. We're kind of kicking off the new year. And the first lesson we're doing today at 3 is the best version of you. Because in my program, for the rest of your life, you get access to the Tuesday calls. There's a live call every Tuesday. So and right now you get the program for $300, which that's going away soon. It bothers me. I'm going to get in that, but literally, so we're going to the best version of you because this isn't about just losing weight. It's about being the best version of you. And so I just want to make this clear. I appreciate Judith saying this, that this thing's not a magic bullet, these injections. And I think that, again, I have people in the program that are on them, as well, but they realize they need to fix their mindset, their lifestyle, their eating strategies while they're doing it, because the medicine, if you don't mind being on it forever, fine. Although we don't even know what it's going to do long-term. They've been testing these injections for 20 years on type 2 diabetics, but they have not been testing them on people that don't have type 2 diabetes. They haven't tested these for a long time on people that are just using for obesity. So we don't know what the long-term results of this are. And it's expensive. Who knows what the results are going to be? I don't know. But I would suggest strongly that having a long-term approach is getting your mindset right, getting your lifestyle locked in, and getting the eating strategies down. Because that's the real long-term approach. So I agree with Judith on this one, that you need a more holistic approach. And it's coming straight out of the horse's mouth there. She's literally on the medicine. So again, they put this medicine out there as they always do, as this magic bullet. They're just going to fix everything. I have not seen that to be the case. And I've talked to a lot of people on these medicines. Let me get down here. Sorry, TikTok. I'm neglecting TikTok, and the TikTok is gone. I'm sorry that I neglected TikTok. Is it going to be gone? Nerve-wracking. I see people talking about something called Red Note. I downloaded it yesterday. It's all in Chinese, literally. So I'll have to sign up for this later. But anyways, I'm also on, just so you all know, if you're on here and you want to, I do this live every day, usually between 12:30, I get started. Usually around noon Eastern time, Monday through Friday. I'm on here every day. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, this Red Note thing. I'll see what that's all about. And I'll be on there at least for a little while, TikTok, because when they delete the app, they don't just delete it off your phone. It's deleted the app store, but there'll be no more updates. So it'll just be a matter of time till it's gone. But if you enjoy, these lives, you can find me in other platforms as well. And I always take the audio and it's put up as a podcast, and you can find that on any of the podcast platforms. Program yourself then. HJHS, thank you so much for this vacation weight perspective. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Again, we need to have multiple strategies. Again, dieting doesn't work because it's a one note solution, and weight mastery is really a multifaceted subject, so you need multiple, you need multiple kind of approaches to it that you're using. You get holistic, you need a holistic approach, in my opinion. HTTP, Jim, how do you deal with being somewhat hungry when you're losing weight, especially at night? Yeah, I think that's really important. And Program Yourself Thin, we really manage our hunger. So again, dieters try and get themselves as hungry as possible because they want to lose weight as fast as possible. That's a very short-term approach. So in Program Yourself Thin, we're always managing our hunger, and we follow a hunger scale. And so we don't get too hungry. We don't get too full. And in order to lose weight, you're going to have to feel some hunger, whether it's real or imagined. You're going to feel some hunger, and it's a bit real, and it's also a bit imagined. It's usually a bit of both, but we want to manage that. And so at night, I find a lot of people, dieters especially, the classic dieter thing that they do is they'll try and not eat at breakfast, not eat at lunch, And they'll say, listen, Jim, everything's going great until the afternoon and night. And then I can't stop eating. I said, what do you eat breakfast and lunch? Nothing. Well, there's your problem. Not eating breakfast, not eating lunch. By the time the afternoon comes, you're trying not to eat, trying to put off as much as possible. But what's happening is you're getting yourself so hungry that by the time you hit a certain hunger level, you can't control anything. And now people are binge. So you need to manage this. And I would suggest a lot of times where the problem shows up is not where the problem was created. And this is especially true with hunger. So the way to manage hunger is to learn how to eat strategically throughout the day. Again, in Program Yourself Thin, we look to get our hunger at a comfortable level relatively early in the day and surf that comfortable level throughout the day. So it's a mindset shift first, and then become strategic. And so first mindset is I'm going to manage my hunger and keep it at a comfortable level, and then see how that goes. Because you may have been over restricting and now you're starving at night. And so that's what I would suggest you as a first step. And take it from there. And again, I'm going to move through these questions because I know I got behind and people wonder if it's real or not. There it is. MJ says, been on PYT journey since November. The winning or learning mindset has changed my life. Yes, it's a very powerful mindset. Again, folks, the number one thing missing from your weight loss journey is the mindset. Number one. As a dieter, you're obsessed with tactics. You want to know what to eat, how to exercise, what not to eat. And the reality is that you need a mindset shift more than anything else. Again, in Program Yourself Thin, we follow the weight mastery pyramid: mindset, lifestyle, eating. And it's put that way intentionally because the eating rests on top of the lifestyle mindset piece. And without the mindset and lifestyle piece, forget it. Your eating's not going to last. So yeah, winning or learning mindset is crucial because, again, dieters always start their diets expecting and assuming they're going to be perfect the whole time until they reach their goal weight. And as soon as they make a mistake, it feels catastrophic because they were expecting perfection. So in Program Yourself Thin, we're not expecting perfection at all. We're expecting you to fuck up. I'm expecting you to make a mistake the first day. The difference is in Program Yourself Thin, the mastery program is built around the Program Yourself Thin technique, which is a technique we use to deal with mistakes. The most important thing I think you need to know is how to deal with mistakes you're going to make, because you're going to make mistakes for the rest of your life. Dieters like to think that, well, I'll lose the weight and then I'll just eat perfect forever. Guess what? You won't. You're always going to make mistakes with your eating. You're always going to eat too much. You're going to make the wrong food choice. It's forever. It happens to me. But the difference is I recover from it like that. I don't mind making mistakes. I'm back on track like that. I believe the number one skill of weight mastery is the ability to get back on track quickly. And if you're a dieter, you have no ability to do that. Let's be honest. The Program Yourself Thin, you use the redo rehearsal technique, and your ability to do that goes off the charts, because every time you make a mistake, you learn from it instantly or within a couple hours, and you're right back on track. That's the difference that makes the difference. D says, if your worst habit is binge eating, how do you start working on that? Yeah. Okay. So if your worst binge eating, right, that a lot of people say that's my worst habit. So what you want to do is you want to really dive into the binge eating, because if you're a binge eater, most likely you have a couple different binge eating patterns, meaning you have different triggers for what causes the binge eating. So the first thing we want to do is we want to dive into the binge eating and understand it. So the next time you binge eat, the second you stop eating, I want you to look back on it, and I want you to go 5 seconds before you took your first bite of the binge. I want you to go back 5 seconds before you took your first bite and focus on, what was my hunger? Where was I at emotionally? And is this a habit pattern? And those are the big three triggers of binges. Not to say there aren't other things, but those are the big three. And it might be one thing, it might be all of them working together. And so hunger is one of the biggest ones. Dieters over restrict, try not to eat, boom, then they eat. It's kind of like trying to hold a big ball underwater. It's like the further you push it down, it's like, and then it goes way up in the air. That's kind of like trying to over restrict. So as soon as you start over restricting, it's just to set the timer to how long it is you start binge eating. So that's number one. Number two is emotional. Like you feel emotions you do have no idea how to deal with, don't want to deal with. So you avoid them by what? By turning to the food, focusing on the food. And then there's the food eating that distracts you from it. And then as soon as you're done binging, there's all the negative emotions from the binge eating that you get to live in. That I know it sounds weird, but sometimes those are better than the feelings of loss, the feelings of loneliness, the feelings of depression, the feelings of anger, the feelings of overwhelm, whatever you may be feeling. The feelings of binging and then feeling the shame, guilt of it are actually better because you know them. Sounds strange, right? But again, emotional reasons for binging are right at the core of this usually. It's because most people have never learned how to deal with their emotions genuinely. You've learned and been programmed since birth to use food as the main way that you deal with emotions. And then the final one is the habit piece, which is usually the weakest one out of all of them, but very powerful. And it might be like, oh, I binge every Friday night. You know, I worked all week hard and I'm tired, exhausted. I deserve a reward. So again, it could be a combination or one of them. But what you want to do, D, is you want to start to understand you probably have 2 or 3 binge eating patterns, I bet. And the secret is not to stop the binge eating, but to resolve it. And so if it's a hunger-based one, you don't let yourself get that hungry. If it's an emotional-based one, start to learn how to deal with your emotions on a genuine level. And if it's a habit-based one, you know, again, you all would probably use willpower on it, but in Program Yourself, then we would reprogram our habit. You know? Yep. Katie says, yep, I joined in October and it was one of the best things I did in 2024. Definitely. And Katie's, again, she's on a path to a real interesting success story. Yeah, Wally was Disney. Yeah, all right. Hey, Don. All right. I'm finally in the healthy weight category again. Congratulations, Don. That's a huge accomplishment. Big deal. Super proud of Don. Don's another super duper success story. And that's really exciting for me to hear that because she deserves it. She put the work in and she is, again, another one. If you all think you got challenges in life, sit the fuck down because Don's got you beat. So I got for free. I love you. Yes, that will be for free. So I hope it curses me out. It won't curse. I can't get my AI to curse, but there it is. So I am gonna. It is funny though. Like I was saying, this won't be the gym AI that's in the program, right? That gym AI is kind of me. This one's specifically for helping you find your goal weight. So I can kind of program my AI. I have different versions of them and I can program to kind of perform differently. So this one will be, you know, snappier than the regular one. And, but it's going to help you identify your goal weight, which whether you realize it or not, I can almost guarantee you, you don't have the right goal weight. I can almost guarantee you. Why do I say that? Because I've done this professionally for 20 years. Listen, it's 25 grand to work with me privately. So you have to understand that the level of, and never mind that. I mean, it's a lot of money to work with me in a private capacity, which I'm only sharing with you to say people that can invest that kind of money, they're very successful. They're very intelligent. They're very action oriented. Okay. And those people that I've worked with have never had the right goal weight. So again, what I'm trying to tell you, I'm not saying you're not smart enough, you're dumb or whatever. I'm not saying any of that stuff. What I'm saying is you have never learned how to choose the right goal weight. And that's what I've come to realize that that's the core issue for most of you is that your goal is impotent. Let me put it a different way. You don't actually want to lose weight. You're not motivated. You think about losing weight all the time. You fantasize about it. You beat yourself up for not doing it, but you're not actually motivated to lose weight, which is why you're not losing weight. And it all starts with having the right goal weight for the right reasons. And the truth is, you have no fucking clue how to figure that out yourself. And so short of working with me directly, Gym AI is going to help you do it. And I'm going to give that to you all for free. Okay. And I'm really excited about that because that alone is going to transform your journey. So, Gratitude 108, great podcast today. Thanks. You're welcome. It is a good one today. I'm getting back to my normal self. I realized, geez, the last month, I a little burnt out because I had so much stuff I was working on. And then, you know, it's kind of holiday mode. I was in vacation mode. And yeah, I'm feeling, again, I slowly, it started last Thursday. I start shifting back to my normal routine. I'm just feeling amazing. And that's one of my favorite parts, by the way, of going from holiday vacation mode to regular mode. It allows me to recognize how much better I feel. And I'm right in the middle of that. So loving it. Kay says, Jim AI does not curse. Unfortunately, I've tried. Yeah, we've all tried. We've all tried. That says, how can I get it though? Well, Tabitha, you're in the program. I mean, you should consider joining the Thrive program. Thrive program comes with 24/7 Gym AI. We've got weekly calls that are coaching calls on Monday. That was a big addition. That's a tremendous value. Literally, you can get on these calls and talk to me. Although we did test it out yesterday in the Circle app, and that was a shit show. That app, I gotta. is this app good or not? I don't know. I get a little nervous because that was acting crazy yesterday when we tested some things out. That was weird. But do people like the app? Are you enjoying it? Is it? I don't know. But anyways, but the Thrive programs kick ass because you get daily hypnosis sessions in the morning, all new ones. Each week there's a lesson with a hypnosis session. There's a lot of support, and that's a great program. So consider it, Tabitha, because I know you've gone through the mastery program. Yeah, Judith says, not on it forever, but changing mindset forever. Yeah, great, Judith. Yeah. If you don't want to be on it forever, you have got to right now create the mindset, lifestyle, and eating patterns that you're going to keep forever. Right? So good. That's the right focus. Yeah, Tabitha, you get on the Thrive program, consider it. It's very reasonable for what you're getting. I think it's tremendous. I've never, we just did a class yesterday. That class was so good. I think, I go through the books that I think are really, really important, but, Thrive program for anyone that's been in the program yourself, then I think that's the investment you want to make this year. If you don't want to jump up to the group coaching, the Thrive program is the stuff. I think if you can do it, I think that's a smart investment. Tristan said tips for stress eating or eating when tired. Yeah, Tristan, I would say, stress eating, the issue isn't to stop stress eating. And this applies to all emotional eating. The answer isn't to stop stress eating, to stop emotional eating. It's to resolve it. So if you're a stress eater, the answer isn't to stop stress eating, because then you're just going to still be stressed. You just be a little thinner and stressed. That's not what you want. What you want is you want to be calm, thin, healthy, grounded, peaceful, feeling good. And so if you're stress eating, we want to learn how to relax. And when you feel more relaxed and calm, you tend to stress eat less, right? And when eating when tired, same type of thing. It's not to stop yourself eating when you're tired. It's to start really dedicating yourself to energizing yourself. That might be getting to bed a little earlier, sleeping a little better, sleeping a little later, taking naps, relaxing a bit, quieting your mind. There's a lot of ways to energize yourself. But you see, again, this is that classic diet approach. With dieting, the answer is always willpower, stop doing the thing. But in Program Yourself, then we always go from bottom up. Well, what's causing the problem in the first place? Well, stress eating. I'm just going to stop stress eating. Well, then you're still stressed. So Program Yourself, then we want to resolve the stress and feel more relaxed. Oh, I'm a boredom eater. Just stop. No, now you're just still bored. You're just not eating. We want to feel more engaged, more entertained, more stimulated with a way that doesn't include food. That's a real answer. I'm the tired eater. Okay. The answer is to stop eating when I'm tired. It's to get more energized. You see what I mean? So with Program Yourself, then we're not looking to just deal with the symptoms, which is what dieting does. We're looking to go to the core and resolve the core problems once and for all. Drew says, and what about eating the last meal at about 6 or 7 o'clock? That's fine. Whatever time you choose is fine. Again, in Program Yourself, then the golden rule is there's no right or wrong. There's only what works for you. And I can't tell you what works for you. Everyone's their own unique person. And so it's up to you to figure out what works for you. You like to eat at 6, 7 o'clock. That's what works best for you. Great. You like to eat at 4 or 5. Great. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just figuring out what works for you. So that's the key thing. Yeah, Judith. Yeah. Shades of gray, not black or white thinking. Absolutely. So Judith, in Program Yourself, then we refer to that as all or something thinking, right? So dieters are always all or nothing. In Program Yourself, then we really encourage being all or something. Very important, because the something's the key thing. Yeah, absolutely. Judith says, yeah, mistakes are not failures. They're situations to help you grow and learn. Yeah, exactly. And it's funny, yesterday, that's such a huge, one of the key mantras is there's no failure, there's only feedback. And mistakes are your greatest teachers. But we did a book yesterday. We covered black box thinking, and it's based around the idea, on a plane, when it crashes, they get the black box. And so it's the idea that when a failure happens, that you learn from it. And that's why the aviation industry is so safe, because of that way of thinking. And in Program Yourself, then we really dial into that. We don't mind making mistakes, and that's a huge difference between a dieter, because dieters just lose their minds when they make a mistake. And in Program Yourself, then we go into it expecting we're going to make mistakes, but we have strategies for how to deal with them. And I think that's very unique. MJ says, I'm no longer bummed about revisiting my mistakes and get excited about the modification next time. That's a funny connection. Yes, exactly. That's exactly it. Again, MJ's in the program, so they know how to use the redo rehearsal technique, which allows you to do that. That's the strategy we use. So again, hugely important, because not only do you learn from your mistakes and get them back track quickly, which is really important, but simultaneously you don't get so worried about making a mistake. And most dieters don't realize, but subconsciously they're so fixated and worried about making a mistake that it actually contributes to them making the mistake, because they're so subconsciously fixated on it. So very important piece of the puzzle there. Aisha says, how do I stop craving sugar? I'll eat healthy, but I do need to have sweets. What do I do? Ironically, I think the secret to dealing with sugar for most people, because most people eat a lot of sugar, is not to cut it out completely. I think the secret is to strategically start reducing the amount of sugar you're eating and start eating healthier stuff in place of it, and start to create that situation where, for me, again, in Program Yourself, then we have pleasure and clean days. And for me, the second I said I'll never eat sugar again, I'd be eating sugar by the end of the day. So for me, I've strategically laid out my week so that it's like, there's a number of days. Most days I'm not eating any sugar, but I am eating sugar some days, and I'm looking forward to those days, and I'm planning for it, and I'm excited about it, and it's in its right place. And it's helped me to moderate the sugar. And I've found for most people, moderating insert your thing, carbs, sugar, fat, junk food, processed food, whatever. I have found moderation works way better in almost every situation than being rigid and completely cutting it out long-term. And so I think the secret to stop craving sugar is to start consuming less of it. Not to completely stop it, because I think the thing that'll kick sugar cravings up more than anything is to say, I can't eat sugar anymore. So that'd be my suggestion. She just says, the book Atomic Habits by James Clear is a great book to read. Yeah, Atomic Habits is a great book. A lot of good habit books. And I'd forgotten because, James Clear, God bless his marketing. He's really gotten out there as the habit guy. And that book is fine. It's a good book. I'm not taking anything away from it. I think it's a good book. But I also think The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg is another great book with a bit more information in it that could be valuable if you like that book. And my favorite book of all, Wendy Wood, Good Habits, Bad Habits. And so, or is it Bad Habits, Good Habits? I think it's Good Habits, Bad Habits. I read so many books, I kind of forget the titles. But that to me is the best book. She's a scientist, and I think her book is the best one out of all of them. Again, I like James Clear as much as the next person, but I think Good Habits, Bad Habits is a lot better. We just went through it. Again, that's a book, by the way, if you're considering the Thrive program. Well, first of all, you get access to that book review, and you're going to start getting access to the notes of it. But every time I read a book, I read and I take notes on it. And then I teach a lesson on it. And so the Good Habits, Bad Habits is, in my opinion, the most scientific look at habits, followed by The Power of Habit, followed by James Clear. And then again, in Program Yourself, then I teach all the most important pieces of that anyways, So it was fun reading her book, and, to know that Program Yourself then already integrates all those scientific things anyways, because it was created reading this stuff. So Dominique says, what's your opinion on Ozempic? My opinion on Ozempic is, if someone's not willing or able to put in the work of actually resolving the core problems, the mindset, lifestyle, eating factors, if someone's not willing to do those things, I think that Ozempic and any of those are your next best option, especially if you're obese. And so that's my thought there. But to be honest, I mean, those medicines and what I'm talking about are two worlds apart, because those are really just about weight loss, right? You'll take the injection, you'll feel fuller. You may feel a little nauseous and a little not great, but you'll feel a way that you don't want to eat as much. You'll eat less, you'll lose weight, and you'll get the benefits of that. But Program Yourself Thin is really weight loss wrapped in personal development. So it's really more about being the best version of you possible. Who's the best version of you that you can imagine? And what does that you weigh? And how can we make that you a reality? And we do it strategically by, crafting the right mindset, lifestyle, and eating patterns. And each of those things are broken down. In the mindset, it's 6 categories we go through. In the lifestyle section, it's 8 habits you work on installing systematically. And then in the eating, it's a 3-stage process. So it's all very, I use the word scientific loosely, but it's a very scientific approach to mastering your weight. I would say. And it's very unique. There's nothing like it I've ever seen. Nothing even comes close to it. So yeah, the Ozempic weight loss injections, I think that, and by the way, and I can't say this for every client of mine, but I can say it for a lot of the clients I work with closely. I don't take credit for this. My clients have consistently created weight loss results that are neck and neck to above what the weight loss medicines are, which is somewhere about 14 to 15% of their body weight a year. And so the clients that I've tracked, I've worked closer with, have all reached that or exceeded it. So I think that, and the difference being that the way they've exceeded it, they have a firm, solid foundation under them that is there, it's locked in, and they can keep building on it for the rest of their lives. Whereas with the medicines, we don't really know yet. You know what I mean? It really is, if you're getting on these medicines because of weight issues solely, meaning you're not type 2 diabetic, then you are somewhat of a guinea pig. Let's just be clear about that. And no one makes any bones about this. They have not tested these medicines on weight-related people exclusively yet for any long period of time. So we don't know what the long-term effects are going to be. We don't know what the long-term efficacy is going to be. We don't know if they're going to last in 10 years. Will it have the same effect on a body? They don't know that yet for just weight-related people. And so there's a lot of question marks still with this. And there are a lot of downsides. You know what I mean? You are on this very powerful medicine that we do not know the full scope of yet. Let it be known. There's been plenty of medicines in the world that they put them out there. Oh, they're safe. And 40 years later, the effects show up. They did one, I can't remember what the medicine was, but anyways, long-term, 40 years later, it started leading to higher rates of dementia. I'm not saying these medicines do that, by the way. What I'm saying is that we don't know what the long-term effects of these medicines are. They're new. And so there's that. There's the financial cost. There's the fact that all you're doing is feeling fuller and eating less food. And so when I compare that to transforming your mindset, transforming your lifestyle, transforming your eating naturally, I would take that all day long. And so that's way more appealing to me than injecting myself forever, feeling full and just eating less. So, but for some people, it doesn't matter. And again, I'm not judging. I'm not shaming. I don't care. We all get to make our own choices. But I literally had this conversation with a client who just committed to a year-long, my highest level group coaching program. And again, the thing that I was so proud of her for is that she was able to get her head out of just the weight piece and realize that this is about her relationships, the adventure she's going to go on in her life, her mobility, her, calm, how she deals with situations. It's much bigger than just a number on a scale or a size of clothes. And so again, some people don't give a shit about the other stuff. That's fine, but if you're looking for the whole package, I think, you're going to need more than just the injections, because the injections are basically just going to make you feel full. Vicky loves the app, just needs some tweaks. Okay, good. That's good to hear. On Traveler on week 2. Nice job. She says it's never useful to tell anyone to just stop anything. Yeah, agreed. I think that's a very ineffective strategy that for some reason people just keep on trying over and over and over and over again. Ruth says, I get to the end of the day after eating well all day and all I want is fast food. Yeah, okay, I get that, Rue. So, the combination is when I hear people say eating well all day, that's really vague. I don't know what that means, because a lot of people think eating well all day is not eating. You know what I mean? So again, I don't know what eating well all day means. And I've been doing this long enough to know that some people's definition of eating well all day is that they didn't eat breakfast and lunch. And that wouldn't be eating well in my world, because that would be eating in a way to get you to get you really hungry so that you overeat, and crave fast food. So for me, I would focus on the eating well and I would optimize that. And I would nourish the shit out of myself. And I would spend, again, now you got to understand all of this exists within the context of a longer time frame. But for me, I took things in phases. So I'll give you an example. My first worst habit was that I would snack every night. I would eat every night. I would sit down and eat probably 600 to 1,000 calories every single night. And so I knew I needed to get a handle on that. So the first thing I did is I started eating more at dinner. He said, well, how are you going to lose weight, Jim? I didn't give a shit, because my first goal was to not eat at night comfortably. Back to our initial lesson there. And so I ate more at dinner. So I felt really full and it was easier for me not to eat at night. And once I got, the first big accomplishment was not eat one night, just one night, no food. That was the big challenge, And so I did that. And then once I got that down, I tried different strategies and all the rest of it. But again, what I'm trying to say is that, eating well all day, I can almost guarantee you can make that better. I only say that through experience. And you could set yourself up to go into the evening feeling more satisfied, more nourished, more calm, more relaxed, and having an evening routine that was more stimulating to you. So, first we got to deal with the physicality of feeling satisfied, nourished. Then we got to deal with the mindset of having a different plan for the evening that actually excites you. So again, there's always that mindset component. Again, program yourself. Then, in my opinion, weight mastery is all about mindset and strategy. Always those two things that we're always improving. She just says that's so true. And this is all or nothing thinking as well as sugar. Thank you so much. Yeah, you're welcome. Tabitha says, speaking about sugar, do you find healthier replacing cane sugar with coconut sugar, maple syrup, honey, and monk fruit? At the end of the day, a lot of that sugar is it's all the same, in my opinion. And so I'm really looking to reduce sugar for a number of reasons. The first one is I want less sugar coursing through my body because sugar is a very addictive substance, and so it makes everything harder. It's just like, if someone had a white powder up their nose habit and they say, how do I reduce my white powder up my nose cravings? Well, the main thing is to reduce using how much white powder you put up your nose. That's one of the easiest ways. So with sugar, it's the same thing. The more you start to reduce it, the lower the cravings typically tend to get. And so there's that. The second thing of why I want to reduce sugar, and I don't give a shit if it's monk fruit, coconut sugar, banana sugar, it doesn't matter to me because I want to consume less and less sweet stuff because sweet stuff on my tongue is calibrating my tongue. So that the more sweet stuff I eat, the less appealing like natural whole bland foods are. So I'm always working on calibrating my tongue as well as part of this process so that bland foods, healthy, nourishing foods are appealing to me. And so the more natural my diet, the more I can tell the distinguish between all the different flavors of natural, healthy, good foods. I feel like cane sugar destroys me. I mean, they're probably all going to do the same thing, Tabitha. So I think the ultimate answer is to just start slowly, comfortably weaning down the sugar, not completely cutting it out cold turkey. I know people want to do that. And I'm not saying that can't work sometimes, but it has a very low success rate. And I think that there's better ways to deal with the sugar. You said you've got to change your mindset. It's a journey. You're not going to be on Ozempic for the rest of your life. Some people think they are going to be on Ozempic for the rest of their lives. And I don't know how that's going to go. Yeah, it's like the COVID jab. Hey, what's up, Kathleen? How's it going? Yes, Happy New Year to you too. Hey, Karen, what's up? How's it going? All right. Oh, nice, Karen. Yeah, doing good. That makes me happy. I'm really happy to hear that. Bruce says, so useful. Good. I'm glad that it's helped you. Miss anything? Oh, there it is. Okay. I've been struggling with TikTok questions today, so I apologize. Tabitha says it's my microbial. I have bacteria craving sweets a lot. Should I go cold turkey? No, because again, I agree. I agree 1,000%. Your microbiome, I don't talk too much about it, but I think about it constantly. And the only reason I don't talk about it a lot is because I don't have the scientific understanding. And I don't think there's the scientific understanding period of it yet. And I don't like to get out there and talk bullshit. But I do truly, I believe in the microbiome, and I think through that paradigm constantly. And so I think if you know anything about microbiomes, you have a gut community of gut microbes. And they call it the second genome. It's that powerful on your behaviors, thoughts, and moods. And so if you eat a lot of sugar, you have a microbiome that's reflects that. If you eat a lot of meat, a lot of processed food, your microbiome reflects that. If you eat a lot of healthy, natural food, your microbiome reflects that. And it affects your cravings, so I do agree. Now, I don't suggest cold turkey for most people because it's a bullshit. You're never going to eat sugar again. I think that's not real. And I think that's the quickest way to really freak yourself out. So me personally, I would rather cut my sugar. If I eat a lot of sugar, I want to cut my sugar consumption ultimately by 80%. So my goal wouldn't be saying, oh, I can't eat sugar. I can't eat sugar. By the way, why does that work? Because your subconscious mind doesn't understand negatives. I'll prove it to you all. Get your willpower, gather your willpower, and don't think about what I'm about to say. Don't think about a banana. Don't think about a banana. What are you thinking about? Right? So the second you go cold turkey on sugar, what are you focusing and fixating on? Thanks, Karen. You're focused on sugar. So for me, it's like if I realize I got an issue with sugar, what I'm looking to do is comfortably wean it down. And so I know I say, okay, I'm going to reduce sugar when I can. Reduce. I'm going to replace the sugar when I can. Replace. I'll remove it sometimes when it's easy. But I'm also going to more focus on what healthy things can I put in my body. Because if you believe in the if you might believe in microbiome, it's not just about eliminating sugar. It's about increasing all the healthy stuff. Not about eliminating the bad gut bacteria. It's about increasing the good gut bacteria. So I take this holistic double-barreled approach where I'm going to start to reduce, replace, remove the sugar comfortably, and I'm going to increase the healthy stuff into my body. So I start craving healthier things. And so I will take that strategy all day long over cold turkey. I think cold turkey is bullshit for the vast majority of people, unless you want to live the rest of your life never eating sugar again. And I bet you don't. So that's, oh my God, it's going to feel like a drug withdrawal. See, that's what I mean. You're freaking yourself out thinking about it that way. And you know what's really going to sabotage your success with cutting sugar down is if you're freaked out. I don't know if people understand that, but it doesn't help to change behavior when you're freaked out. It makes it a lot harder. So don't approach it that way. Judith says, you're amazing. I've recommended you to some of my clients as I'm a therapist. Oh, that's awesome, Judith. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate the compliment and I appreciate the recommendation. Kathleen says, on that. Let's get one of me smiling though. Take screenshots of me looking like the grumpiest man on the planet. Kathleen says, I'm doing good. Thank you. Working on losing weight in this new year. 24 pounds down. Kathleen, you're a superstar. Awesome job. You might want to consider the Thrive program. Thrive program's there for all you program yourself thin graduates, mastery graduates. And it's kick ass. Again, there's coaching now with it for $100 a month. I think it's the deal of the century. So anyways, just thought I'd throw that out there. Tab says, you're right. I did cold turkey with fast food and it's been a year, but with sugar will not be different. Yeah. Okay. Great job with the fast food. Fast food's easier to say no to than sugar. You know, sugar is way stronger. Yeah, it is. It is. It's like, listen, some things do lend themselves to abstinence, alcohol, substances, gambling, fast food, perhaps. Sugar is a harder one. It's very difficult to not eat any sugar in this society, you know? So I think I feel like that's a goal that's setting you up for failure for most people. So, and I don't think it's necessary is the other thing. I eat sugar. Mostly it's on the weekends, but it's moderated. I treat sugar like I treat alcohol. You know, but I can't do, I gotta do all or nothing. Bullshit. You know, you've never even practiced moderation. You've never learned how to do it well. So it's like a lot of people just say, oh, I'm bad at it. Cause why? Cause you just couldn't do it right away. You know, just cause you suck at something in the beginning doesn't mean you can't get good at it. And moderation is right in that list for most things. Now, some things, no, you can't moderate. Some people are just too addictive, whatever, but vast majority of people can moderate. Absolutely. So I'd say that's better. Ooh, so increasing the good. Okay. More sugar from fruits. Yeah, there you go, Tabitha. Exactly. Because listen, sugar, like table sugar, right, is called sucrose. So it's glucose and fructose. It's a combination, right? The two types of sugar. And fruit sugar is fructose. Okay? So they're different. Fructose goes to your liver to be processed and absorbed. Glucose goes directly into your bloodstream. So yes, they are different sugars. And the fruit from sugar, the sugar from fruit is a lot better for you because it's bound to fiber. A, it's a different sugar, A, okay? But B, it's bound to fiber. So if you eat an apple, it takes a lot longer for that sugar to be absorbed. So a lot of times it's not just the amount of sugar you're consuming, it's the speed at which it's absorbed. And table sugar is absorbed instantly. So there's a huge difference between table sugar and fruit, just so y'all know that. Because I know there's a bunch of bullshit going on in the weight loss world that eating fruit's bad for you because of the sugar. Bunch of bullshit. Don't get me wrong. There's people that'll eat 50 bananas a day. That's not going to be a problem. But for the vast majority of your fruit consumption is not the reason you're overweight. All right. Just want you to know that. Kathleen says, sugars gave me so much inflammation. I'm starting to feel the difference eating healthier. Yeah, absolutely. Sugar is a nightmare. It's a real nightmare in your body. Again, the closest thing dietary to the white powder you put up your nose is sugar. They both activate the same parts of your brain. They're both very inflammatory, very unhealthy, cause cravings, all the rest of it. So absolutely, front and center, sugar reduction should be always a part of your plan, because it's doesn't nothing good for your body. And I like it. I'm not saying don't eat it, but eat it moderately. It's like alcohol. Alcohol does nothing good for you. I still drink alcohol, okay, but I do it very moderately. So again, I'm very firmly in the all or something camp. I'm not a purist, I'm a vegetarian, I suppose, but that came again very organically. So I'm not a big believer in never eating sugar and never drinking out. Again, I never really fast food, but that just kind of happened organically, but I'm not a big fan. The second, like I said, I can never have sugar again, I'm just craving it, like crazy. So for me, moderations work best. And for most of my clients, that's what's worked best. All right. So at least consider that as an option, but do it with eyes open too. There's a lot of negative effects of sugar. And so be aware of those. The negative effects of alcohol, So I drink alcohol with my eyes open, knowing that it's not great. So Judith says, what about the notion as the stomach has the second brain? Yeah, Judith, that's absolutely true. And what that means is that in our gut, we actually have the second biggest conglomeration of neurons, right? Just like in our brain. And they say it's equivalent to the size of a medium-sized dog's brain, right? And so what happened is evolutionarily, that part of our brain handled digestion so the rest of us could focus on living. And so there's a literal intelligence there. And so that second brain thing is absolutely true. It's not like your stomach, it's your gut, but yeah, like, intuitions, obviously awareness of what you ate and how that feels, that's real. And so it travels from your second brain, where all those neurons are, up your vagus nerve, up around your heart and up to your brain. So it's communicating. But absolutely, a huge part of Program Yourself Thin is getting in touch with basically that second brain, which is kind of your intuition. It's kind of the vague, subtle, whispery wisdoms that exist within you. And I find being able to connect to that, I find to be very, very powerful. And not just your second brain, but also the deeper regions of your actual brain, And so a lot of Program Yourself Thin is designed to tap into those more subtle wisdoms within you. Melanie says, been following you for a year now, and I'm 25 pounds down, struggled all my life with weight loss. Melanie, all right. Congratulations. I'm super proud of you. Super proud of you for two reasons. 25 pounds, that's awesome. That's great. But the bigger thing is they've been at it for a year. Okay, that's the key thing. So great job. I'm really proud of you. And if you're not in the program, get in the program, because the prices are all going up. So get in there now. There's coaching involved now and everything. So it's a great deal. Great time to get involved, but great job anyways. Judith, the reason my sugar is so difficult to give up is because it's in everything anyways. Yes, absolutely. It's in everything practically. Anything that's processed, is a great chance sugar's in it. So yes, that is a huge reason why. Karen, cut down my portions. I didn't even want sugar anymore except for bananas. Yep, absolutely. It does help. So again, there's other ways to do it. Tabitha says, thank you, Jim. Definitely changed my perspective. You're welcome, Tabitha. Glad I was able to help you. All right. Everything. Hey, I don't know. Tab says the white powder, you mean snow? Yeah, I do. I can't say it though, because the second I say, that's why I always say white substance you put up your nose. Because if I say it what it is, I call by its name, TikTok restricts me. So yeah. Mary says, Jim Bingo, take a sip of water. When Jim swears epically, fights a dieter, mentions white powdery substance. I love that. Jim Bingo. That's hilarious. That's so good. Yeah. That'll keep you all healthy, right? Yeah. Take a sip of water and eat a piece of fruit every time I swear, fight a dieter, or mention white powdery substance. I talk about white powdery substance a lot because it is very relevant to this conversation a number of ways. Certainly the sugar as well. That's so funny. Jim Bingo. I'd be a quick game of bingo, I think. That's funny. All right, there we go. Got everyone. All right, I got to get out of here. I got to go eat my salad and get ready. We got a class coming up, and then we got a coaching call after that. And we're kind of kicking off the year. I'm all excited because Program Yourself Thin, this is kind of the first week of the year. because I was gone last year. So I'm super excited. So, all right, everyone, thank you so much. If you're not in my world, please click the link in my bio. Go get the hypnosis session I give you. It's free. Watch the video I made for you. It's free. Read the emails I send you. They're free. I told you I got Gym AI. I'm going to let you have access to that over the next week or two. Help you decide your goal weight. That's going to be free. And if you want to get the program, now's the time to do it. You can get the hypnosis only program. It's $97. You can get the full mastery program for $297. And these prices are going to go up. This is it. I'm just letting it go for another week or so as the new year for us. So that's something to consider. If you're in the program already, we think about coaching. Again, you know the options that are available to you. And again, love to see you in there. And if not, I'm still here for you as well. So if you like this, I'm here every day, Monday through Friday, usually around noon Eastern. And if you like listening to the replay, it's on a podcast. It's called Program Yourself. Then you can listen to that. Follow me if you like this stuff, because I put videos out all the time. And yeah, have a great day. Thank you, everyone. Have a super day. We'll talk soon. Bye.